everyone. I hope you guys are doing fine. So आज है CA इंटर क्वेश्चन सीरीज का डे 4 और आज का हमारा टॉपिक है ऑडिटिंग का चैप्टर नंबर 1 जिसमें हम आज सिर्फ बेसिक्स के 5 क्वेश्चंस कवर करने वाले हैं. सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड. और हाँ, अभी तक अगर आपने चैनल के बाकी वीडियोस को चेकआउट नहीं किया है तो उसको ज़रूर से चेकआउट करें. अभी तक चैनल पे SM के चैप्टर 1 और 2 और ऑडिटिंग का चैप्टर नंबर 6 अपलोड हो चुका है. सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड.
The person conducting audit should take care to ensure that financial statements would not mislead anybody. Explain. The person conducting this task should take care to ensure that financial statements would not mislead anybody. This he can do honestly by satisfying himself that accounts have been drawn with reference to entries in the books of account. The entries in the books of account are adequately supported by sufficient and appropriate evidence. None of the entries in the books of accounts has been omitted in the process of compilation, and nothing which is not in the books of accounts has found place in the statements. The information conveyed by the statement is clear and unambiguous. Definition statement amounts are properly classified, described and disclosed in conformity with accounting standards, and the statement of accounts present a true and fair picture of the operational results and of the assets and liabilities. Now question number 2. Question number 2 is a case based questions. In these kind of questions you need not to worry about the length of the question because most of the time the main requirement of the questions is basically mentioned in the last 2 lines of the question. So the question is, Pace is a proprietorship firm of Mr. Abhinav engaged in the manufacturing of textile and handloom products. It sells its finished products both in the domestic as well as in the international market. The company is making a total turnover of rupees 50 crores. It has also availed cash credit limit of rupees 5 crores from Axis Bank. In the year 1718, the proprietor of the firm is worried about the financial position of the company and is under the impression that since he is out of India, therefore firm might run into losses. He approached CA Mahesh about the advantages of getting his accounts audited throughout the year, so that he may not suffer due to accounting weaknesses. Advice regarding the advantages of getting accounts audited. So in this question we just have to mention the advantages of the auditing. Advantages of auditing are: first, it provides high quality information and give confidence to the users that the information on which they are relying is qualitative and it is the outcome of an exercise carried out by following auditing standards recognized globally. Second, company shareholders' interest is safeguarded by an audit. Third, audit acts as a moral check on employees from committing fraud from the fear of being discovered by audit. Third, audited financial statements are helpful to government authorities for determining tax liabilities. Fourth, audited financial statements can be relied upon by lenders, bankers for their credit decisions. Sixth is, an audit may also detect fraud or error or both. Last is, an audit review existence and operation of various controls operating in any entity. Hence, it is useful at pointing out deficiencies. Third question is, an audit does not provide absolute assurance. Discuss how the nature of audit procedures itself is one of the reasons due to which an audit cannot provide absolute assurance. As per SA 200, an auditor can never provide absolute assurance due to some inherent limitations, and one of the reason is nature of audit procedures itself. The auditor carries out his work by obtaining audit evidence through performance of audit procedures. However, there are practical and legal limitations on ability of auditor to obtain audit evidence. Management may not provide complete information as requested by auditor. There is no way by which auditor can force management to provide complete information as may be requested by auditor. In case he is not provided with required information, he can only report. It is an example of legal limitations on auditor's ability to obtain audit evidence. The management may consist of dishonest and unscrupulous people and may be itself involved in fraud. It may be engaged in counseling fraud by designing sophisticated and carefully organized schemes which may be hard to detect by the auditor. It is quite possible that entity may have entered into some transactions with related parties Such transaction may be only paper transactions and may not have actually occurred. The auditor may not be aware of such related party relationships or audit procedures may not be able to detect probable wrongdoings in such transactions. Now question number 4 is again a case-based question. CAN is the auditor of SR Limited. The auditor expressed his opinion on the financial statements without ascertaining as to whether the financial statements as a whole were free from material misstatements or not. In your opinion, whether CAN has complied with the objectives of audit considering the applicability of relevant essay. In this question, the relevant essay is Essay 200. Overall objectives of the independent auditor in conducting an audit of financial statements. The overall objective of the auditor are: first, to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, thereby enabling the auditor to express an opinion on whether the financial statements are prepared in all material respects in accordance with an applicable financial reporting framework. And second is to report on the financial statements and communicate as required by the essays in accordance with the auditor's findings. Now, in the given case of SR Limited, CAN expressed his opinion on the financial statements of SR Limited without obtaining reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement or not. It can be concluded that CAN did not comply with the objectives of the audit as stated in Essay 200. Now, the last question is, there are two interlinked perspectives of independence of auditor. 1. Independence of mind, and 2. Independence in appearance. Explain. As per Essay 200, independence is of two types. First, independence of mind, the state of mind that permits the provision of an opinion without being affected by influences, allowing an individual to act with integrity and exercise objectivity and professional skepticism. And second is independence in appearance, the avoidance of fact and circumstances that are so sufficient that a third party would reasonably conclude an auditor's integrity, objectivity, or professional skepticism had been compromised.
So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Do subscribe to the channel for more such type of content. और ये वीडियो अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ भी ज़रूर से शेयर करें ताकि वो भी अपने एग्जाम्स के लिए अच्छे से क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर सके. टिल देन मेहनत करते रहें और आगे बढ़ते रहें. बाय.